Before this video begins, I just wanted to clarify that whenever I use the word abundant in this video, I mean an abundant mindset, and by that I mean an open mind, capable of anything and free. Hey soul friends, welcome back to my channel, Helki Rain. Thanks for joining me today for the Gratitude Challenge 2021 created by Jen, and I will leave her channel in the description below. So for day 5 I got, and my day 5 was yesterday, so I got the Ace of Wands. And as you can see, it's quite a different take. This again is the Silver Witchcraft Tarot, which was a gifted deck. So just like divination, I chose a gifted deck to use just to show gratitude for gifts. And it is one of my newest decks, so I'm having real fun like getting more connected through this challenge with this deck. And this is a very interesting Ace of Wands. As you can see, there's no wands, there's just a big fire, but obviously wands are connected to the element fire. It's a cat and loads of floating fruit, plus some corn and what looks like a jar of honey. So the first thing that came to my mind yesterday when I pulled this card was like, whoa, like this really reminds me of another card from one of my other decks, which always sort of threw me off because it's just not what, just so different basically. It was because of the fruit, and particularly the apples and the way it's floating around. This is a deck that I also got gifted when I was in France. It's a French deck, and if you want to see the walkthrough of this deck, I will leave it in the iCard above now, and you can check that out. But the card it reminded me was the Ace of Wands, same card from that deck, and if you can see, they both have floating fruits around it. This one looks like it's mostly just apples. But this was one of my favourite cards from that deck because I was just like, I don't know, it just seems so happy and just makes you think of abundance, because normally you'll see the wand. I don't have a copy of Rider-Waite on me right now, but like on the Rider-Waite wand, it has the leaves coming off of the wand, like floating down, and some are still on the wand, and it's like that growth, that abundant energy, but because it's growing these fresh leaves and it's shedding the old ones, like it's continuously abundant. But here it's shedding apples, and it's like that's the best thing you can get from a plant or a tree as a human. You actually get nourishment and food. So on here you get apples, but you also have a pear there, and from my research, apples and pears, it symbolizes nourishment and abundance, because in the original Rider-Waite, apples and pears do show up. And apples are also very much connected to knowledge. You've got this new possibility to act on this knowledge and go somewhere with this knowledge. It's not just the swords, it's not just a thought, it's not just an idea. You've got the knowledge now to actually put that push into it, because obviously fire and wands, that suit in itself definitely represents confidence and moving forward and like going for things and having that like spark. Also, there's like 2 bunches of grapes on here, and grapes symbolize prosperity, the good life, and like celebration of a good life. So it's really got that kind of feeling like I have everything I need coming from the grapes there. You also have corn. I've not really thought much about like the symbology of corn, but from what I looked up, I was able to find out like the divination of tea leaves, and it said that corn sort of represents new beginnings, and again having like great hopes for the future, feeling good about this new beginning, feeling confident again, the fire with the confidence. There's also a tomato on here as well. You can see just there. And there's the honey pot there, and both of these are also sweet. So everything on this card so far really represents like sweet and nourishing and delicious foods. And I couldn't find any kind of symbology about those things. They're not things that come up in my mind much. Honey, I'm a vegan, I don't use honey. And tomatoes, I've just never really thought like, I wonder what the symbology of the tomatoes are. But I went in intuitively in to sort of ask, okay, what can tomatoes and honey symbolize for me? And what came back to me was, these are sweet and nourishing foods, and all of these foods are really symbolizing that you have such abundance. Also that this feeds the mind, it feeds the creativity. So it's like food for thought, basically. Another thing that came to mind for me about the big fire, because you really can't avoid looking at this huge fire. It really dominates the card there. It's the first thing that your eye is drawn to. And if you think about fire, of all the elements, instantly fire changes whatever it touches. Earth, water, air, yeah, over time you can see changes from strong winds, or you can see changes over time of being soaked in water. It can eventually break stuff down, damage it, and the earth can grow over stuff over time and break it down to then feed the earth. So sorry about the dog, I'm just going to shut the door. I feel like this card was really asking me to see the possibilities that I have to spark this fire and really change how I'm seeing things, change my approach to things, and allow myself to be more open to new things and new passions, or just like being more in that curious, like beginner, icy energy. Even if things don't go my way, what else is possible for me? Having that kind of mindset was really my biggest takeaway, and I was so grateful for that. But I can't forget that there's a cute cat on this card, and cats are a massive part of my life. I love cats, and cats for me always remind me of the High Priestess. And I know there's no cat on the original High Priestess card, but in my, let me see, in this deck, I'm not going to be able to find it now because I'm actually in a rush because I've got something in the oven. Oh, there she is. So she's a cat. And it says knower of secrets, and of course cats as well have that energy of the keeper of secrets. And cats are very intuitive. Cats are meant to be so in the spirit realm. That's why they sleep so much, because they spend so much of their time prancing around in the spirit world. They're definitely one of the most intuitive spiritual animals that we have here on earth, and that's a very feminine energy. You know, the High Priestess is very feminine energy and very yin energy, and so are cats. So weirdly, even though this is quite a masculine card in a masculine suit, you've got the cat there. And that told me yesterday to listen to my intuition, but to not go too much into my logical mind about it. Definitely go into my intuition. And the reason that it also reminds me of the Queen of Wands is because the Queen of Wands, the original Rider-Waite card, has a little black cat on it. So naturally you sort of connect her with cats. And the Queen of Wands is very confident, and she doesn't care what other people think. I've heard it referenced before, like the black cat sort of symbolises that, because back in those days people didn't like black cats, they feared black cats, but she doesn't care. She's like, I've got a black cat, so what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? Like, she's just really confident, she's who she is, and she's not going to change for anyone. I have a tendency to be a bit of a people pleaser, hold myself back as well, like, because I don't want to offend anyone. Just freaking be. And don't give a fuck what people think, because if they're for you, then they're for you, great. If they're not, then they'll forget you tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for commenting and liking my videos and supporting me through this, because I do feel like I've allowed myself to be very vulnerable with you guys, and I feel very received and nurtured, and I feel like you guys have held space for me just being here watching my video. It really means so much to me, so I'm so grateful for you guys, so grateful for what I've been able to process during this tag so far. So again, so grateful to Jen. That's everything I got from this card, and I'm so grateful for this little change of energy, because like I said, we've had some darker cards, and Ace of Wands is a very positive card, and confidence and courage and fire. So just really embracing that fire that I know is within me. And yeah, that's everything I have for today's card. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye.